Hi dolls, it's your favorite mother queen blessing from Diva by Wigs. Today I want to show you guys a tutorial on how I customize wigs for some of our customers who request for it, or even if it's my personal wig. This customer ordered for this particular wig, and she told me she didn't want it too long. She wanted me to trim off the lace, twist the part and make it look really good, so that immediately she receives it, she'll just be able to pop it out of the pack and wear it. So this is something we do like extra service at no extra cost because we love you guys. So I do this every time before I ship out the wigs if you request for it. Now you guys shouldn't come for me and be like, oh, twist all our wigs, because I literally do it by myself. But it depends on the time and the location. Like this particular customer is based here in the US, so it's pretty easy to do and just ship out to her, versus if I have to do it for everybody going to Nigeria. So that is why I've come to do this tutorial, so that you guys can learn how to do it by yourselves, because come to think about it, it's not difficult at all. It's super easy and easy to do. Okay, so the wig that we're working with today is by Bobby Boss. This is the wig. It's Bobby Boss. It's called Silvana. I think that's the name. Sometimes these names are so difficult to pronounce. But yeah, I think it's Silvana, and it's a really nice wig. Like this wig is the bomb, you guys. It's really, really pretty. So she said she wanted it reduced in length, something she can wear to work. She didn't want it too long. So I'm going to go ahead, unbox it, and then show you guys what it looks like on the inside. So this is the wig straight out of the box. You can see the color is so dope. She got it in TT1B burgundy, and that color is everything. So let me just unbox it and put it on the mannequin head, and I'll be back. All right, so I've gone ahead to unbox this wig, and this is what she looks like straight out of the box after just fluffing the curls out, or the waves rather, out a bit. And this is what it looks like. So right now it is currently, I think, about 22. Let me just increase the length of this so that you guys can see the measurement. So it's currently about I think 22, 23 inches long, starting from the top. So it's about, actually I'm wrong, it's actually about 28 inches long. So she says she wants it reduced to about 18 inches. So that means we are literally going to cut off a lot of the curls and the colors, and I feel so bad, but again, we do what the customers want. So we're just going to reduce that, and I'll show you guys what I do. Now when it comes to trimming your wavy or coily wigs, you need to be really careful, because if you go too hard too fast, you might end up cutting it lower than what you intend to do. So what I recommend you do is that you measure to the point where you want to cut it to. So I'm looking at 18, but I won't just start cutting immediately from that point on. I'll take it a bit down to like say 21, and then I start to trim. So the first thing I'll do is to just get one portion and snip it, and then use that as the standard for every other part. So I will just go ahead like so and snip that part. And you want to cut it in a downward motion, because you don't want to cut it just straight, so you don't have your wig looking funny after you finish. So I'm just going to use that measurement and then go ahead and trim every other part like so. So I'll pick it up and then come this way and then trim downwards like so. Okay, so you can see that it's already taking shape. I don't know if you guys can see, but don't worry, you will get there. So I'll take that part again and trim it downwards. So this is what I'm going to do all through until we get to the desired length that we want. Okay, and you can also do this for your old wigs. Like if you have old wigs that you don't want to, maybe the tips are getting too tangled, or you just don't want it, whatever wig you have, you can use this method to revamp your wigs and just create another style from the previous style that it came as. So that is another tip for you guys. As you can see, it's already reduced. Okay, so I'll do this for everything, and then I'll come back to show you guys the final result. Okay, girls, so this is what she's looking like now. Okay, and this length for me, I believe, is perfect for work, because she said she wanted something she could wear to work and all that. So this length is perfect. I didn't want to, mess with it too much, because of course when she gets her wig, she can always like put in the waves and do all that. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead and trim off the lace in front. Now for you to do this, you're going to need a styling, like a painting tail comb like this, so that you can define the part. Usually most of our wigs are glowless and they kind of already come in such a way that, if you take it off your the pack, you can just trim off the lace and just pop it on without doing much to it, except if you're really into the baby hair and all that stuff. But if you're not into the baby hair, whatever, razzmatazz, then you can just pop it up and wear it like so. So I'm just going to brush this off so that I can also trim off the lace. Now bear in mind that when you trim off the lace from your wigs, you might experience a little bit of shedding, and I'll tell you why. That is because when you trim off the lace, you can see that there's some hairs around this place. Now when you trim off the lace, those hair will begin to fall off because they were, made into the lace. But don't be perturbed. After a while, everything's going to come off and then you have your wig as it should. So don't let that bother you. Before I trim off the lace, another thing I do is spray water around the perimeter of the wig, so that it can help me just push and lay all the hair on the edges to the back and lay it flat so that I can properly cut off the lace. So I'm just going to go in with water in a spray bottle like so. Really, this step is optional but highly recommended because it will help you, define where the lace is. As you can see, it's already kind of wet. And then when you want to cut your lace, I usually recommend that you start from the center point of the wig. Okay, the center. So you go in with your scissors like so. This mannequin is kind of tight, so it might be a struggle, but we'll find a way. So you just snip it once like that, okay, and tug it closer so that you don't rip too much, like so. And then I usually try to go in a zigzag motion, like so. And I try not to cut too close to the hairline so that I don't have, too much of the hair coming off. And also don't cut off all the lace. It's usually not recommended you trim off everything because you want the wig to lap properly on your head. If you cut it too close, then it starts to move back and you don't want that. So usually I recommend that you leave a little bit of lace just at the front so that you can have that lap on top of your skin over when you wear your wig. You can always use your foundation or powder to cover up this lace, okay? So don't always cut too close to the hairline. So just keep going. Okay. So we've cut off that part. You can still see that I left some of the lace around the perimeter. So you'll do the same thing for the other side. So that's it. Also be sure to use like a T-pin when you're doing this. If you have a small sized mannequin head, this one is really wide, so the wig is literally snug on it. That is why I can achieve that. Now the parting space in the middle for me is perfect. Okay, I personally won't do too much tweezing on this one. I will just do a tad bit just to make it more defined, a little defined. Another thing you can do is to go in at this middle part of the wig and snip it like a V shape, okay? Now that small V shape you cut out there is going to make your wig lap. It's a very tiny tiny hack that I do for my wigs, so that when I wear them, it just has that V shape and it laps properly on my head, and then nobody is going to be seeing the lace, you know, all over the place. Because I personally, it's a serious pet peeve for me. I don't like to wear my wigs and then the whole world can see that I have a lace. Fine, we already know it's a wig, but again, I just want it as realistic as possible. So yeah, so I do everything possible to make sure that, you know, my wigs are properly laid. And there's nothing a concealer or foundation can cover. With a proper, if you use foundation or concealer in your shade, trust me, every other thing is secondary. So, yeah. So the next step now is for us to tweeze this unit a bit. I'm just going to do that real quick in a minute for you guys to see. So to tweeze the wig, what you're going to need, for me, I use this metal, they call it rat tail comb or metal pin comb, because I want to make sure that I roll out the hair to be even on both sides. You're going to need a tweezer, like so, and then I usually go in with any foaming mousse. You can use any one just to make sure it's more different. You can also use water if you want, but I kind of like the mousse because of the fact that it just gives a little bit of texture when I'm working on the wig. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that for you guys to see. So that's the final look. You can see that it's a lot defined. Like I said, I don't want to tweeze it too much. So once she gets her wig, all she needs to do is to go in with an angle brush or a regular eyeshadow brush and then apply powder in our, or foundation or concealer in her skin color to this part to make it look very flawless and very realistic. Now, when you do this process, you're definitely going to experience some form of shedding. Why? Because you just twist some hair. So you need to make sure that you comb out the hair from, you know, all the way out of the wig to make sure that it's not falling off on you whenever you go out. Okay, so you're going to take a wide comb like this, especially if it's a wavy wig, and then comb it through, the wig. So you comb it through and make sure that all the strands come off from the places you just twist. Okay, you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, there's just some strands that have come off. So you repeat the same thing for the other side as well. Be very careful. So yeah, that's the wig. That's the final outcome. That's what she's looking like now. So like I said, I don't want to put any heat into it now because it's still relatively new. But when she gets it, she can always just decide to, you know, like just do like a flip. You know, you don't even need to do anything really, because when you comb it into shape, it falls in. But eventually she's going to have to use like a coiling wand or perm rods or whatever to get that wave, you know, to the back, so that the wave, because this is supposed to go in that direction. So yeah, that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys found it helpful. Don't forget to shop with us at Diva by QB Wigs. We're always here to give you glam wigs that you can wear to be whatever girl you want to be. Okay, I love you guys. Toodles.